Hoopjumper Media presents Destination, Sold. A roadmap for home sellers in the Omaha and Offutt AFB metro area written by Angela May. Copyright 2017, 2018, and 2019 by Angela May. Audiobook, copyright 2019 by Angela May, all rights reserved.
As my husband's Army career approached the 20-year mark, we both realized it was time to try and get back home to be closer to our families. Thankfully, the Army obliged and we landed back home at Offutt Air Force Base in 2006. I continued my real estate career in the Omaha area and began building my team. Several years later, we finally placed the last piece into our puzzle when Jeff retired from the Army after 27 years of service. We traveled the world full circle, then ended right back where it all started. This is definitely the last stop for us. We love being surrounded by family, friends, and being part of such a giving community. We're truly living the good life in Nebraska and couldn't feel more blessed. Dedication. This book is dedicated to each of my amazing Husker Home Finder teammates. You're my most respected, admired colleagues, and I'm grateful to work alongside such fun, professional, caring human beings. You all inspire, teach, and challenge me to see things from different perspectives, constantly motivating me to become a better version of myself. I feel blessed to be surrounded by such greatness and proud to call each one of you my friend. This book is filled with ideas we've all shared, nurtured, and grown from as a result of helping hundreds of wonderful families buy and sell real estate in the Omaha Metro and Offutt Air Force Base area. Introduction. As a child, I moved more than 12 times before I was 10 years old. Our family would pack up each time my father found a new opportunity to serve on the police force in a small town in Iowa or Nebraska. Finally, when I was in 6th grade, my family moved to Council Bluffs with the promise that we'd stay in one home until my brother and I completed high school. My parents kept their word, and for the first time in my life I lived in the same home for 7 years. In October of 1984, my friends and I decided to cruise Broadway after our high school homecoming dance. While we were hanging out at the fast food burger place, which also happened to be the cruise turnaround point, I met the man I'd end up following around the world. I like to joke he had no idea what a whopper he was getting himself into that night. Jeff, my future husband, was a freshman at Creighton University at that time and was enrolled in ROTC, the Reserve Officers Training Corps program. In February of 1986, we got engaged, then married 2.5 years later and began our adventure. I soon learned what his ROTC scholarship really meant. I'd be going back to my childhood roots, and there would be a lot of packing and unpacking in my future. However, as an adult, the thought of venturing outside the Midwest and seeing the world was really exciting, and that we did. For over 18 years we parted with our military families over tearful hugs as we moved every 2-3 years from coast to coast and abroad. There were very few times in Jeff's career that we actually received an assignment that was on our wish list. I learned to embrace the motto, "Love where you live," no matter where we were, because I believed life was too short to live miserably because of geography. Each relocation made me realize the many moves I'd experienced were not only a journey in the sense of location, but they had become part of a personal journey for me as well. As a child, I discovered that each new move meant an opportunity for a new beginning. I could start over and do everything I wish I'd done differently at the next new house. There was one moving lesson that stuck with me for many years, going all the way back to my first day at a new school as a 3rd grader. I remember feeling timid during recess and turning down multiple invitations to play tag. As a result, I was instantly labeled as boring. This experience stayed with me as a military spouse. No matter how uncomfortable it was, I'd always put on my Army strong face and dive into my new community with enthusiasm the moment we arrived. The reward for my courage was always worth it, a group of supportive friends that would help get me through the next 2 to 3 years. I'm grateful for each gift I took from the many places we called our home. The final gift from our last stop before Omaha was finding a career that let me utilize all the skills I'd acquired moving, volunteering, and helping people. As it turned out, I had no idea my entire life had actually been a whole lot of OJT, on-the-job training, for what I was destined to be when I grew up. Our last stop at Scott Air Force Base, Illinois, gave me the gift of my real estate career.